Today we're taking a look at the Sandbox's Sand coin, performing some technical analysis and making some predictions on where we can expect to see Sand go in the near future. Let's get into it. Welcome into the Sand chart, guys. If you'd like to buy Sand or want some free Bitcoin, there are a couple of links down in the description of today's video. So let's take a look at Sand. It has been a while since we checked back in, and last we took a look, we were coming to the pointy end of what we thought was potentially a break in our downtrend, and unfortunately our little uptrend did fail that we did see on the 13th of February. We tried to retest it, staying above that key point of support, which was sitting at $3.98, or probably more close to $4 to be honest. And unfortunately, that all failed. And overall, the crypto market over this period of time didn't perform too well. Of course, not helping Sand, but overall, some key points failed for Sand from that point onwards. One other key point that has really failed at the moment is this 200-day moving average. Not only have we seen the price now drop below it, the 20-day moving average has also crossed below that 200-day moving average, indicating that maybe in the long term this is now moving on a downwards trajectory. So all in all, not the ideal case scenario, but we need to make some good predictions as to where we can expect it to go moving forward. So first and foremost, currently we're sitting at a value of $2.76. Now of course we do have this point over here, which was our overall downwards trend. And that downwards trend was moving a bit like this. We are still within the parameters of that. I'm just going to shift it down to just where the touch point is, right about there. We are still in this downwards trend. And for us at the moment, that is not a good thing, obviously. Long term, we want to be breaking out of this. Many other coins are starting to break out of their long-term downtrends. Unfortunately, Sand hasn't been one of them yet, but we are now testing that point once again. And we've seen it tested on numerous occasions over the past couple of weeks. So this is really a sign that possibly we could be in for a little bit of, I suppose, turbulent times, depending on what actually occurs. If we are able to break through and close consistently above this downtrend, we have to fight against not only the 20-day moving average here, but of course the 250-day moving averages, which are not too far above it. They are major points of resistance for us and will make it extremely difficult for us to keep moving in the right direction. So let's say we don't manage to break through this downtrend. Where are we going to end up? Well, let's have a look. Once again, we're going back to horizontal points of support. So where is our next horizontal point of support? And in fact, we are actually sitting right about at one at this point in time. I'd say possibly about here at about $2.62. And the reason for that is we have had multiple bounces off this point, back over here in, I suppose, the end of February, back over here in the end of January multiple times, and of course back in November of 2021. We saw this as a major point of price action and a key point to break through for our big pump that we did see. Now, that is right now our current point of support, and we're probably going to see something similar to what we saw back over here in the middle of February. We're going to see a bit of turbulence, and it's going to be a decision between, are we going to break in an upwards direction or are we going to break in a downwards direction and continue our downtrend? So right now, the next 24 hours are pretty critical when it comes to that. Interestingly enough, our volume has been decreasing, indicating the selling is starting to slow down a bit. In saying that though, let's take a look at our RSI and our MACD. First and foremost, the RSI, having a look at that, it is relatively low. It's sitting at a value of 38.92, but if it consistently keeps trending downwards, it still has plenty of room to move. So that doesn't mean, we're in the oversold region at this point in time. We could possibly keep moving down. Now, obviously, if we do break out, we have a lot of headroom though to make a big move in an upwards direction, which is ideally obviously our best case scenario right here. But for me at the moment, there are a few things which are showing this is hard and it's not going to occur. Unfortunately, all the red days we're seeing here are typically bigger than the green days. You can see 13th of March, big red day, but you know, the day prior was a green day small, today small green day. 2 days prior to that, red day is bigger than that previous one. The sellers, in my opinion, are still in control at this point in time. MACD, that will really show us exactly where that's sitting, and you can see, interestingly enough, actually we are hovering in a very horizontal manner. We're having crosses of the 12 day over the 26 day and vice versa, basically on an every few day basis. Now this is really showing that the market is unsure of what to do. Whilst I'd still say sellers are in control, we may be at a point where if we do break out here, we are able to move upwards. Our green period here failed back on the 2nd of March, but the red period did as well. We went back into green. Unfortunately, still a very, very low buying action occurring, which is why we're not making any significant moves. Right now though, as I mentioned, we are at that real critical point. If we do see a large bit of volume come in and allow us to break above these moving averages, it'll literally need to be within like a 24 to 48 hour period. Some really big candles need to come in. That is our chance in reversing. But if we don't see that occur, then it's not going to occur, obviously. So when we look at the MACD now, there's really not too much we can interpret from it, apart from the fact that the market is unsure of what to do. But the next 24 hours, in my opinion, will be very telling, because either we're going to have a break of this support point, or we're going to have a break of our overall long-term downtrend. That is really critical. Based on that, what is my price prediction for today's video? Well, quite simply, I think we're at a point now where the volume is incredibly low. I think there is big potential for us to actually start moving upwards. So my price prediction is we break above, at least for a day or two, this overall downtrend. Past that point, I really want to see if it can get past our 20, 200 or 50 day moving averages. But right now, simply my target is to break out and close above this downtrend, hopefully testing our 20 day moving average at $2.96. That wraps up today's analysis on Sand, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video as well, make sure you do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this sort of content, hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications. I'll leave it there for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.